the that energy of persistence. What are you using that in today? What do you mentioned to me? You have a new project you're working on now.
Yeah, I'm about to finish. I've written 2 features before, and they just weren't good enough. It's so hard to write a good film. Now I have worked with a writer who's very talented, and we together have made a really good film. And I'm very excited to put that out there. And I'm also developing, I just love the ability as a creator to develop something with AI. You can really, I finally have someone to bounce off of with my ideas, because my problem is I just get too lost in the idea, and it's hard to be objective. So it's nice to have a free collaborator that I don't have to pay or share ownership with, or just, so that's been really nice. So now I am pretty keen. I have a horror movie that I'm writing, and a kind of like a fantasy labyrinth type film.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
And what stage is it? Strictly still in the writing stage now?
Yeah, I'm just about to finish the final draft of, we're on draft 5, and I'm about to give it one more flourish, and then I will finish that fantasy film, and I'm going to go up to Fantasia in Montreal and start meeting people and start learning the film business. And I might go to some influencers and ask them if they want to fund a film that they can star in. I'm going to find different kinds of avenues to try and make it happen.
How would you say, obviously this is a film this time around and not a series, what would you say is the biggest maturity difference between this upcoming project? Because you are going to make it.
Yeah.
What's the maturity difference? What do you really?
Well, I am a good writer now. Like, after all this, after all the experience in my life, and a story is just a beast. It's almost like you're never done writing, and even master writers don't always turn out great stuff. But the kinds of things that you kind of, writing was my hardest won gift. I was a gifted puppeteer. I was a gifted puppet maker, and I'm good at ideas, but the skill of writing, that was a hard one to really grasp. But I feel like I kind of am finally there, where I'm like, okay, this needs a twist. This character needs this. We've lost focus of the narrator, or we could tie these things together, and that's not on theme. It's just sort of like all these subtle things that it's hard to kind of like really put your finger on, because it's such art writing's so loose and subjective. But now I'm a great writer, and I feel like I've put out a couple masterpieces. I do believe that story is one of the most valuable things. Like, we're made of story, and so if you're able to write a good story, that's the greatest power.
I agree, and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people, I'm 23, and especially people my age, they're like, you gotta have the best camera, you gotta have the best director. It's like, you have to have a great story first.
Yep.
And that's all that matters. And I feel like I'm glad you actually said that, because that's exactly where I am.
Yep. Good
And
stuff.
I hope
you're doing so well. You're only 23, huh? How many films have you made?
We've done, I think, maybe 5 or 6 now. And
that's amazing.
Thank you, man. And just going by what you said, it's just like, as long as you have the serendipity of it, as long as you have like the right pieces at the right time, and it's natural, it's not forced. Yep. And if the story conveys the message you're trying to, convey, I think you can just film with your phone or a red camera, whatever. I'm just agreeing with what you're saying, because I'm glad you said that.
You're totally right about that. I totally agree. It's like, get the thing started. I mean, that's that secret ingredient. It's like, people have all these things that block them. That's what they're discovering more and more. Is like, success is removing resistance. It's not your own internal resistance.
Success is say that again. I want to hear that again.
Success is removing the resistance that you have to your own success. That's another
Okay.
way to put it.
Okay.
Like, you know, just kind of like, I'm not good enough, getting beyond that. I don't want to fail and I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want to do something I'm not good at. All those things that stop you from doing the thing you want to do.